Yo, what's going on, people? It's your boy State, and we are back. Some of this Gears of War Judgment insane campaign. I ended up playing through the campaign the first couple days. Played through the first half of the Judgment campaign Tuesday night, second half Wednesday night. I haven't played the Aftermath campaign yet. I'm gonna probably do that later tonight or tomorrow, and I'll live stream that as well. But I've pretty much, I played on hardcore, live streamed the whole thing, and I figured instead of taking the videos off of there and putting that on here, I would play on Insane and upload that to my YouTube channel. Just as I wanted to have the Judgment campaign up on my channel, and maybe if somebody's struggling with it, maybe what I do can help them, or if you have tips, you can help me out. You're more than welcome to leave your comments down below. If you have any tips for anybody who might be struggling, the only time I'll have these parts up, I'll cut out all the deaths. Obviously, I died on a few of these parts, and I don't care. It's insane. I don't care if I die or not. But for this first gunfight, pretty easy. I just stay up top. I'm actually playing co-op with my boy Nightmare, and I take this hammer burst for this next part coming up. And I might be playing solo, might be playing with somebody else. More often than not, I'd say don't do it with more than 2 people, because you can use the bots as kind of bullet sponges. They take a lot more hits than you can, and they can actually go down and be revived. So I'd recommend not doing it with more than 2 people unless you have people who are actually really good and know what they're doing. And for this part, I ended up taking the left side. I don't really like taking the left side, as you see up in the top top right part of the screen. I prefer to take the right, but my boy Nightmare, he was struggling on this side over here, so we kind of split up. Told him to take right, I'll take left. But if I was running solo, I would take the right side, even though it's a little harder over there, since the wretches actually jump over the walls, and since they are Lambit, does make it a little bit harder, because they can gang up on you. They're kind of hard to hit if you're not on host, and it can get a little rough. But for me, this part over here is not too bad. You get a lot of walls in between you and the wretches. You can put yourself in pretty good positions to kill them, jump behind a wall to keep yourself from dying, and put yourself, get some distance between you and the next wretch, because they do kind of come right after another. And definitely, after one explodes, if it does hit you, I recommend, getting back so that you have enough room between you and the next one that comes out, and don't kill them until, until your health is fully regen, because I think if you have just a little bit of damage, one of those blasts can kill you if you're close enough. And then, we're getting down to the last few enemies on this part of 1-1. Go ahead and take the sniper out. Finish off this boomer. There goes his face. Then kill these last 2. He's down, and that's it for this part. First part, pretty easy, as it should be. It's the first stage. And, you really shouldn't have too much problems with 1-1. 1-2 is a little more difficult, because that's when you get the I think actually the one thing I do like, I don't really like how they cut up the campaign into like these little parts, but it does make doing Insane a little bit easier, because you only really have to do it. They're like at most probably 10-minute segments. And the one thing I do like, another thing I like, is that you'll get different waves of enemies on each time, so it's not just the same enemies in the same spots all the time. For this part, I'd actually prefer the drones with the sniper rifles and the boomer than the wretches and the grinder, because the grinder is actually really hard to dodge. To poke your head out, get some shots in on him, and then have to deal with the wretches hopping all over the place. I prefer the drones. It just makes things easier, and then luckily, since the boomer is very slow and shoot. He has to shoot, and then cock back, reload. You can kill him in between shots if you're playing with somebody, train your shots on him while he's reloading. You can kill him pretty easily before he gets off that next shot. I usually try to throw a grenade over here to get this guy off the turret gun first thing, because if you don't, that turret gun will shred you up. I don't want to destroy it because sometimes with the grub holes that are going to pop up near the bottom, I try to use that. If I can use it instead of just use it's stronger than the Lancer ammo for sure, stronger than the Hammer Burst. So I don't mind, getting on there and using that. Definitely want to try to close up one of these grub holes if you can't close up all of them. So we end up getting 2 of the 3, which isn't bad, and get rid of the grinder. So I think around here is when we move up to this little middle part. I want to stay over here for a little while and then move up toward that middle part, because the enemies are going to be coming up the right side of the map over there. And there is enough space for you to get over there and take some cover, shoot them as they're coming up, because you don't want to let them get all the way up to the top, because it just makes it a little bit harder to deal with them. Like say if you're able to take them out as they're along the side over here, it makes it a little bit easier to deal with them. I wouldn't really worry too much about going up to pick up the bot teammates, because they'll either revive themselves or the other bot teammate will go pick them up. Luckily I don't die there. But after a few shots, we're able to take out the grinder and these other 2 bots. This part, a little difficult. I try to stay like in this little middle area right here. Get rid of the wretches and the tickers, because the wretches and the tickers they enjoy ruining your plans. But if you don't die to this boom shot right here, like I was able to, train your shots on both of them, get them down. Not too difficult if you're, lucky enough to not die to boom shots and random grenades. So that's it for these 2 parts. Hopefully this helped you or you enjoyed, but that's it for me. I'm out. Peace.